Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Look at, after everything you see, look at how many rows have graves still underground.
They're in tight too.
1760. Wow, look at the tree back there that they chopped up. Now it becomes evident just how much work is here.
Well, we're at week number 2 of the Old Magheracross project. We showed up on week 2, and as you can see from the before pictures, an incredible amount of work was done. 75% of the work was done before we even got here. What's been going on since then is primarily tombstone rating, grave marker rating, and recording indexes, photographing, and most importantly the application of the D2 material. The D2 helps clean the headstones, and it also makes them more readable and preserves them from future erosion. And supposedly, even as more it rains as time goes on, it actually improves the readability and preserves the stone. So we're not simply scratching away at stone and eroding future readability, we're actually enhancing it. What you have here before you is a representation of grave markers going back as early as 1600s clear to the early 1900s. And you have names as broad as border names like Johnston and Armstrong, and little people of Ballinamallard in the Old Magheracross project have done incredible work here. When I first walked into this graveyard, I was blown away at just how dense it was in population. Earlier photos I'd seen of it with the grass up high, it hid all the low stones. And so what I really saw was just kind of heads peeking up above the grass. And as you brought it down, it just fills this place up. And it just kind of gave you an idea of the scope of the hundreds of people that are here. And even more so, the lack of markings and the lack of recognition that these people would ever have. And, you know, there's a sorrow to that. But at the same time, the fact that we brought those stones at least to surface kind of commemorates that moment, that the whole moment of sorrow occurred.
When I first walked in here, after being here 5 years ago, I was shocked at the way the graveyard looked like after 2 weeks of work here. There was so much uncovered that to me it was just really amazing to see the work that these volunteers did. And we're talking volunteers. So far, the only thing money has been spent on is supplies, cleaning supplies, brushes, and things like that. The need for money comes in when we really want to restore this cemetery and get it down to the grade level that it should be. We're seeing slab stones that are that deep in the sod. That means that deep is where the original ground lays, and it could be there's more headstones and slabs that are not discovered yet. So we're raising money for the Historical Society to finish this restoration. We've taken out tree stumps, we've taken out brush, at least moved it to the side. We still have to remove it from the property. We can't just throw it over the fence, that's a farmer's field. So they have to bring in a tractor, we got to haul this stuff out, the debris, and then there's that ground that hasn't been probed with a rod yet to look for stones. And at that point the decision will be made, do we have enough money to really do a ground cleaning, to add a walkway along the back fence. Back here we want to put a sign so you can see the rows, have the numbers on the rows and the location, so an elderly loved one can come in here without risk of falling and actually see their ancestor in this graveyard. That hasn't happened for a long time, and that's what we're hoping to accomplish, to account for every soul that we can find in here and record them for posterity. That's the goal.